Right, we are going live now. Welcome and welcome back to my channel, my internet friends. In today's video, we're gonna talk about herping. And these are the topics I want to discuss today. I made a short list of topics that I want to talk about, and I'm very excited about it because this is my first time herping at all. So, first of all, what is herping? Herping, let me take up the internet definition. Herping is the act of searching for amphibians or reptiles. The term often used by professionals and amateur herpetologists comes from the word herp, which comes from the same Greek roots as herpetology. Herpet means creeping. It's basically the act of finding all these creepers, reptiles, insects, and whatnot, right? So yesterday's activity actually belong to this category of herping. But in fact, we were trying to search for snakes. So why did I end up here? So if you don't know me, I'm Jay from Alissa and Jay. If you want to look at how to photograph, how to do photography, videography, and gear reviews, you can check out my website alissaj.com or tech.alissaj.com to be precise. You have a lot of photos there. You can explore. It's a fun website to visit. And here in today's topic, I want to talk about my experience doing herping. So my wife, actually, Alissa, comes from a long line of herping. Her dad handles snakes, and she is also very fond of snakes. She thinks reptiles are very beautiful, especially the lizards. And I kind of developed the interest in herping as well after being with all the snakes in real life in their houses and such. So it's an interesting, very interesting thing to do, just playing with all the snakes and whatnot, right? So yeah, it's something that fascinated me for several years now. Like, I used to love snakes, the amount of colors they have, the way they move. It's a mysterious thing, right? For human beings, snakes are such a fascinating creatures. They tend to mind their own business if humans are not interrupting them, but when humans interrupt, they have the deadly dose of their venom, right? They don't know how else to react except to bite whatever is attacking them. So that's why we are scared of snakes, but they actually don't want to bother anybody. They are just minding their own business. So, but still, humans are the ones, the curious creatures who are fascinated by these animals. And they want to know more about what these animals are, whether they are the threat to the humanity, and so on. So, this video, I did do herping, and I want to share my experience. The first time ever I ever herped, and I don't know if herped is even a verb or not, but yeah, that's what we did, and I'm happy to share my experience. Why? Because I did find two snakes, to be precise. Both are macrops. Macrops are one of the most venomous, poisonous, venomous actually. It's not poisonous. You cannot say poisonous. They are venomous, poisonous to humans, but the snakes themselves are venomous. And these are pit vipers, and they are so beautiful. Here I have a clip to show you guys. Look at these. These snakes are just like tiny, tiny ones. This is a video that I filmed yesterday. It's fresh in my DaVinci Resolve studio, and I'm happy to share these snakes. They are like super, super small, like so tiny. The head is just an inch long, so they are super tiny. And we will discuss more on how I shot these videos and blah 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 whatnot, right? We will talk about this in a bit. So I will pause this for now. Let's get back to the other slides. Yeah. So I want to talk about the tools that are required, and then I will want to talk about, is herping dangerous, and what my experience was, and how to be safe when you're herping, right? So I will also share some of the photos that I shot and how I edited those photos, and also the videos that I took. We have a lot to talk about, but I think this video will not be too long because, not many people are interested in this, but interested people would love this content. All right, let's go to the tools. In today's video, I'm not going to show a lot about I don't have my second camera set up. You see the tripod over there. That's the one I use predominantly to film the second camera setup. But today, the second camera is laying on my table. So this is my tool of choice. This is Sony A7C II. This is what I use as my primary filming device. And this did a fantastic job in my opinion. You saw some of the footage. I will share some pictures as well, and this was my primary tool for filming and also photographing, because you need to maintain the distance, so you need to be really careful. This is 70 to 200 millimeters f2.8 G Master 2, and also if I need to get any photos of standard range, I use this Fujifilm X106. But you will not have light. These animals are kind of nocturnal, or I should say they would prefer to eat nocturnal animals. So they come at night, right? They roam around at night. In the morning, when there are a lot of human activities, they tend to stay low. Also, that's why you need a flashlight. This one is actually from Small Rig. This is a 10-watt flashlight that can actually act as some creative lighting effect. I didn't have any other flashlights, so I decided to use this, and I think this did a really good job. I also carried this soft light for videos and also some headlamps, so everything worked out okay. Thanks to Alissa, I was even able to find the snakes over there. They are green color. They camouflage very well with whatever colors that's there. Green bushes, everything. Like, and the entire habitat of these snakes are green, and green. When I talk about the photos, you will understand how they camouflage so well in their environment. And also they tend to stay a deep into all these bushes. So what happens is, like, they um how do I put it, inadvertently tend to create their own defense mechanism using all the leaves. So if you look at these creatures from one direction, like, uh imagine this L shape. So if the snake is here, and if you were to look at the snake from this direction, all the bushes will be covering, but you can see a part of the snake. But if you were to look at it from the top, you can see a different part of the snake. So it's like very well camouflaged, and it tries to hide itself from anything that's around them, except to focus on the food that it's gonna eat. So it's a wonderful experience, right? And also these flashlights, they can only uh, create shadows predominantly from all the leaves and such. So they did do a really good job, but I wish there were more lights from different angles to light up the snake to bring its beauty out in the nature. I will have to work on the lighting process when filming and also photographing, but this is my first time, so this is what I got. Also, today the internet seemed to be weak. It's not healthy at all. So we might be ending up having a very low quality video, but still I want to put this point across. See, these are animals and they want their privacy, like us humans. We do want to have our privacy and we care about it a lot. We see a lot of people act being an activist for privacy laws and this that. So we should make sure that we also give that privacy to the animals. So we need to have the responsibility to not disturb them too much. So let me start by showing you some pictures. I think that can make up a good story. So this one is not. Just give me 1 second. So what happens is when I have this window opened, Oh, okay. So when I have the second window opened, Windows, and yeah, let's do this. When I have the second screen on in my Lightroom, it's starting with the second screen for some reason. I cannot go back. I don't know how to use the Lightroom effectively yet. So we started herping and we were looking around everywhere in the park, and we went to all the places where the humans were not. We were roaming around for more than an hour, and then like we gave up. And during that 1 hour period, we found a lot of insects actually. So this is one of them. This is a butterfly. It was just staying there, hanging, clinging to this. Oh, you're not able to see. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. Okay, so this, let me pull it down. So hope you can see. So this is a beautiful, beautiful dragonfly. It was just clinging to the branch. Looks amazing. And you can see all its wings and it's like wide stretched glory. And it's a wonderful, wonderful creature. I do admire all these dragonflies as well. But it took a few shots for me to get these. So this is how it actually looked. Sorry, this is how it actually looked. It's kind of pale and it's like not contrasty. So I had to edit a bit to bring out all the contrasty nature of this dragonfly. And I think it looks fantastic. I could not go deep on the eyes because this is actually the minimum focus distance of this lens. And if you want to do actual herping, probably you might want to look into buying the 70 to 200 f4 macro instead of this f2.8 so that you get to go closer. You get the semi macro nature of the lens. I would not recommend you to go get a macro lens yet unless you are like trained in herping process. Why? Because you have to keep the distance from the subject. Like if it is dragonfly, you need to still be away. Otherwise, they will fly away if you tend to go closer to the subjects. That snake especially was giving me all the creeps because we were just about a feet away from the snake, and you know how fast the snake jumps? Like, phew, and it could like totally jump on you or the camera, and then like you will scream and run away. The bite of these snakes are really venomous, so be extremely cautious. So carrying a lens that has a really long range is actually beneficial. So start with 70 to 200 millimeter f4 macro. That would be my recommendation. And let's go to the second bug. This is a beetle. These are like tiny beetles, and it was very difficult for me to get even this photo sharp. This was at ISO 1000. Since there was light, I can get away with ISO 1000. If there is not much light, then probably I might have to use higher ISOs. And also you can see the shutter speed is 1/320th of a second. I tried shooting them at 1/200th of a second because the focal length, but it wasn't that sharp. I tried playing around with different optical image stabilization settings as well. It didn't work out well. So that being said, we can move to the next one. So this is a beautiful butterfly. If you look at the actual picture, it was something like this. It was hanging upside down. Then I cropped in and turned it around to get this image. It's a beautiful looking butterfly, but you really have to shine the light to see. So here is what I noticed. The insects tend to be between a range. So let's say this is the front, this is the back. The bushes are somewhere in the middle. So what happens is when you try to look out for all these creatures, you will tend to look between somewhere in the middle, deep in the bushes for snakes or insects, right? But these animals may be in a different plane of focus from what your eyes are focusing. So you need to, if you're looking at an area, you need to search from here, this plane, and this plane. It's a long and arduous process of finding these insects and snakes and whatnot, right? You have to constantly adjust your depth perspective, and also you'll be exhausted with just eyes and mentally exhausted with everything. And then also you are roaming around carrying all these cameras and lenses and lights, and you will be exhausted physically as well. So exhausting process, but the results are something that you would enjoy showing and sharing. And that's exactly how I felt. So during the first hour and a half or so, we were getting all the photos of the insects, and there's also this bug. This bug's color looked fantastic. Look at the colors. I don't know what bug this is, but the colors are like yellow and green and so beautiful, so radiant. But the problem is, I could not get it in focus. See, it's never in focus. So I was like, I wish it was in focus, but then it ran away. It ran away with a slight hint of light. So I couldn't get more photos of this. This is the maximum in focus photo that I got. Okay. And the next one was the damselfly. I couldn't get this in focus at all. My camera showed that it's focusing on the damselfly for some reason. I even changed the focusing method on my camera to focus on the insects, but still it failed to autofocus on this damselfly. So every single picture I'm showing you here, they're all out of focus. Okay, except this one. This is slightly in focus, but I would say it's still not worth sharing. So I would say just leave it. All right. Well, let's move on to this lizard. This, look at the position it's staying, like contorted. Its entire body is like so super contorted. It's so fun to watch these animals. It's just eyeing like, hey, what the hell are you looking at, right? So cute though. So cute. Such a beautiful thing. And it's so funny to encounter all these species of lizards and animals and yeah, whatnot. It's a fun animal. It's a cute, fun animal, and yeah, some of them are out of focus, some of them are in focus, and there's one thing that actually nailed the focus, and here it is. It's a beautiful, beautiful animal. I just increased the brightness, contrast, reduced the highlights so that all of its glorious colors are visible, and I denoised it to get the image with less noise. So this is how it looks. It's a beautiful, beautiful creature. And yeah, until now, we have not encountered a single snake, except we found one snake with its tail. Look at this. We saw the tail. This was spotted by Alissa, and we couldn't find the head. So, like I said, this is the point of view for us. Like we were looking at the snake over here from this direction, and we could see only the tail of the snake, and you could see the beauty of the color. So it changes from the green to orange and then to red by the tip, and the tip is black actually. So it's really a beautiful thing. And this is what we first saw. We were looking for the head. We couldn't find the head, but when we moved the other direction, we were able to find the head. So this is how hidden it was. It's covered completely with all the leaves, and I have to find, like, super hard to find the snake because it's so camouflaged in all the green. So look at this color and look at this color. It's so camouflaged. It's very, 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 very difficult to find these. So, for example, if you were to walk right past it, you would never notice these snakes. And I believe for the first 1.5 hours or 2 hours we were spending there looking for all these snakes, I believe there were so many snakes around us that we skipped. And that could easily happen. So, you see, these lights, if you don't shine the light on a specific angle, you cannot get to see this. It will all be covered with the shadows of these lights. Oh, sorry, of these leaves that's around surrounding the snakes. So that's something that you have to remember. But Alissa managed to find the snake's head, and it was fantastic. It was glorious, glorious. Look at the glorious eyes. It's so bright red. Sorry, bright yellow. What am I saying? Bright yellow, and it's a beautiful picture. It's beautiful, beautiful picture. I love it. So this is one thing. This is a thumbnail of this video, and I think this is the best picture I got that day. And after taking a few photos, I did try to take it from the portrait mode and the horizontal mode, etc. And that's the best I could get, because the snake was this was the platform, like the place where I could sit and see the snake from. And you can see it's all covered in bushes. This is what you could see, and if you have to like carefully focus the light on its head, otherwise you wouldn't get this photo. I think it's wonderful. And let's move on to this one. This is a snail. You find a lot of snails everywhere. And this is the second pit viper. This is Macrops. This is the second one we found, and it was also beautiful. It was moving quite fast. It was like hungry for something to eat. And this is my second picture that I'm going to share. It's a beautiful, beautiful photo. As you can see here, the colors on the top are like purplish green, a lot purplish compared to the other one. That other one was like totally dark green, but the sides are super lime green, I would say. And then underneath the scales, you find all these blue colors. What a colorful being! Look at all these scales arranged in the type of all the leaves. So beautiful. I wish I can touch it, hold its head, but these are bone structures. They're not the skull structure. It's actually the teeth. When it opens its mouth, when it opens its mouth, it's gonna open it like this, like 90 degrees or maybe obtuse angle. So very, very wide to engulf the entire egg or its predator, or its prey. So these are something beautiful and fascinating bone structures. There's also some sand on it. It's like it's digging itself deep into all the sand, and it's something amazing that we saw. The colors are so fascinating. And I thought it would be a boring snake because it was too dull on the top, but the underneath is so colorful. And also I got very low. I got the camera very low to the ground, and also I flipped the screen so that I can see what's happening. I'll also share the footage. I'll also show the footage. Actually, I will share later when I make a dedicated video about this. But I'm just like too excited to share this photo. This is the body part, this is the tail part, and you can see here it's just moving along. This is the head over here. I couldn't get a lot of good pictures. I just had to maintain the ISO low so that I know that I can increase the shadows in post and still get away with good amount of noise-free images. So that's why I tend to keep my ISO low with higher shutter speeds. It's a very nice picture, I would say, this one. And also, I was not thinking of taking a photo because it's moving, but for a moment, for a tiny moment, it stayed still. So I was able to capture this footage. Sorry, this photo. Now we wanted to go away around to the other side of the bushes, but uh, we met this guy. This guy he has his home like completely blocking a path, like full of webs, like very strong, thick webs. And this massive, massive looking guy, very thorny, was in the middle of all these webs, and we don't dare to cross this guy. So, and also this beautiful web structure is around, like very huge, and we don't want to break his home, so we did not dare crossing this guy. We could technically, he would run away, he won't harm us, but yeah, why bother all these beings? They're minding their own business. Yeah, so yeah, that's about it. So actually we did took like we were kind of satisfied, and we were also exhausted. This was around 8:30 p.m. And also we were thinking that the gates will be closed for the park. And the fascinating stuff is actually this is not some random location in a remote part of the park. It was right where a lot of people walk around. It's like a group of people will be walking around, but they wouldn't notice a snake right beside them. Snake will be just like chilling there. Who knows? They will be trying to find some rodents, rats, and bats or squirrels or whatnot, right? And this is the fascinating thing about the snake habitat. They don't go remote. They tend to stay where people are for some reason. It's like where the people are, the rodents will be there to eat the waste of the humans. And when there are rodents around humans, the snakes will be eating the rodents. So they cannot be found in remote locations. They will be found where humans are. So you need to look around for the places under seats or benches or whatnot around the concrete areas, gaps around the concrete areas. Where there's a wall, there will be some cracks around the walls. You need to find snakes in those regions. So it was a fascinating thing for us to understand the habitat of snakes and to find them and to photograph and film them. So with that said, I want to move to the video part. So this is one of the videos. Mm, close the Lightroom actually. It's lagging up a bit. Okay, no, yes, skip this time. All right, so I have a few clips actually. So yeah. So here, this was the first one I was taking. This is the tail part of the snake. So this, I tried to film this. It was okay. I think it's 24 frames per second. We can see the bugs just crawling around the snake tail, but the snake is so chill. It's not even moving. As a last ditch effort, if we are not able to find a different snake, we were planning to use my tripod to lift the snake so that I can capture a good photo. But that is a very bad idea. Don't mess up with venomous snakes, especially the tiny ones with so much venom that could actually kill people. So don't mess with all this venomous snake. Be careful around them. Maintain your distance and if possible, try to photograph from far away. This is the tail part, and I think it's dragging. So let's move to the other side. I think this is 60 frames per second. So when I slowed it down, it's pretty neat actually. You can see all the beauty of the tail. It's nice. It's so beautiful. I'm still, yeah. Looks like there's some issue with the streaming. It's very low quality. Sorry guys, today my internet is messed up. All right, so this is the part where I was like super happy to film. Like, look at all this beauty, beautiful eyes, beautiful face. It's just staying like a statue, like boom, like a statue. I love the snake. Yeah, so bright green. And yeah, here we have another video of the snake. This is the highlight because it was, slithering and it's moving, yeah, whatnot, right? So this will be the showstopper of this video, and that's it. Like, take care of yourself when you're herping, and I just want to share my experience the first time I herped, and that's it for this live stream today. I was intending to talk more about cameras and lenses, but my internet is giving up on me, so I have to stop it now. Anyway, thank you for watching. Stay tuned to the channel to share and listen to my experience of doing different activities like this. These are actually potentially life-threatening activities, and yeah, you need to be extremely careful. And also, for the next live stream, I'll be using a different mic. It's famously uh, called as a substitute microphone for the SM7B, the universally accepted podcast microphone. But I'll be using this one on SM7B and change of the microphone signature for the next live stream. So stay tuned for that as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.